This video is intended to give some explanation to an article I wrote regarding the Mariamenou Mara inscription that's found at the Talpiot tomb in East Jerusalem. At the top is the full inscription from the ossuary. It has been interpreted as two words, Mariam, and with an OU on the end, and Mara. I'm interested in the last word, the last four letters, M-A-R-A, which this is, let me center that up and give you a little larger view. We have the M, alpha, rho, alpha, what's been interpreted as an alpha. You can see that these two alphas are different, significantly different, which prompted me to pull the two alphas from the Mariam portion of the inscription, put them with the two from the Mara, which then we get right there. So now we got what are supposed to be four alphas written by the same hand, all next to each other. When we look at the first tomb, we see that they're very similar. First, let me throw up a modern alpha and just kind of compare it to what we got there. The modern alpha is made by starting in the right hand corner and looping down to the lower left hand corner, back up to the top, and then around and end, finishing at the lower right hand corner. The ancient alpha, to me, looks like it starts in the upper right as well, with a straight diagonal line down to the left, then a hook, and then it's a second stroke. So this is a two-stroke character, and then a second stroke here. Same thing here, straight line, hook, second stroke. This one is different. It's the first alpha in the Mara portion of the inscription. It looks like it could have been made in one stroke, going here, back around here, and then a loop. It's different than the first two. At glance, it doesn't look that different, but I think it could have been created different. I'm not going to quibble that that's an alpha, but when we move on to what has been called an alpha, the last letter in the inscription, it's significantly different. We have that diagonal downward line that to me looks like the first stroke, just as in the first two alphas. It's at a very similar angle, somewhere between 90 and 45 degrees. So that looks like the same stroke here and here, but each of the first two alphas, well, this one as well, so you have the downward stroke, and then you have a clockwise hook that ends before it gets back up to the beginning of where the character started from. You had the downward stroke and then the short hook. This one has the downward stroke and then it goes counterclockwise, and it loops back up, and it looks like it's the person who created it was looping counterclockwise, trying to get back to where he started. Did a little mid-course correction here, which shows some tentativeness, got back past middle top, and carried on past where he started. So each one of these stops well before it gets to the start. This one, not only is it going counterclockwise, it goes past the start. The loop goes all the way past the top. And then it's hard to tell what this movement is right here. It could be part of the flourish. There's a long flourish that, there's a long flourish that goes underneath the entire inscription right here. So what was going on once he got up there? It looks like it's part of the flourish, but it also could have started as part of the letter. Let me throw up a lowercase delta, and let's look at that for a second. All right, here's a close-up of the letter we're looking at. Okay, this is the lowercase delta. Let me bring it in there so we can look at them. Okay, the lowercase delta starts much like the modern alpha, except it's making a counterclockwise oval, it goes past the center top, just like this one. This one starts and the oval then goes counterclockwise, goes back up to the top center, then goes beyond the top, just like this one. It goes beyond top, and then the last move is, after it completes the counterclockwise oval and goes past top, it makes a little hook left to right. This one goes past center and then a hook left to right. And I think what is going on is that the person who engraved this tomb or this ossuary, once there should have just been a little, if this is in fact a delta, which I think it is, once they got past top, there should have just been a little hook, which you see right there, and then we have a fairly representative delta, it looks to me. But then they carried it all the way through as to start the flourish. What the flourish is, I don't know. Iscus, who can say? But that looks like it's not part of a letter, it's part of the flourish, and then we get that. So my interpretation is that what is there is not an alpha, due to the fact that we got the counterclockwise movement of the loop, and that the loop carries all the way above and beyond the start of the character, and that those are representative of a modern delta. I used the modern delta because there was no other delta in the inscription for me to compare it to, and I thought it was pertinent to compare it to the modern delta. For what it's worth, that's my view of the last letter of the Mariamenou Mara inscription at Talpiot. Thanks.